Well, the First Minister's meeting went as I expected it to. You had premiers looking visibly frustrated on their breaks. You had Liberal ministers ready to give their lectures, and you had one arrogant bully of a prime minister ready to bulldoze anything he wanted through. Trudeau's plan going into the meeting wasn't to have an open dialogue or discussion with the premiers at all. The whole point of this meeting in Trudeau's mind was to sit back and have his ministers and himself talk about how great of a job they think they're doing. It played out more like an infomercial than a meeting where premiers had to bulldoze through liberal rhetoric just to have their concerns brought to the table. At one point, New Brunswick Premier Blaine Higgs had to interrupt Bill Morneau because he was lecturing rather than having a dialogue. Rachel went into the meeting with her elbows up and had to really force the issue of our energy sector's woes. But this time she at least had backup from other premiers like Saskatchewan's Scott Moe. And even he said that Ottawa needed to step in, step up, and do more. And okay, yes, Trudeau said that, yeah, he's going to look into possibly helping Alberta buy more rail cars. And then he announced that he's going to beef up our EI benefits. We don't want more EI. We want to work. We want the jobs that come associated with having pipelines and a healthy energy industry. If we wanted to just sit back and collect pokey, we wouldn't be as angry as we are. We wouldn't be fighting for pipelines the way we are. And we wouldn't be trying to take our message from coast to coast, hoping that maybe, just maybe, for once, Trudeau would listen. Yes, he says he hears us, but he's never listened to us. We all know for a fact that when Alberta does well, all of Canada does well. And like Rachel Notley said, there is not one province in this entire country that doesn't owe Alberta to some degree. But of course, Quebec Premier François Legault doesn't see what our oil crisis has to do with his province and very firmly announced that Energy East does not have a hope in hell of being revived. He also said that pipelines are not socially acceptable in Quebec. But oil from Saudi Arabia is? Maybe it's time for Alberta to find it more socially acceptable to quit sending equalization payments over to a province like Quebec. Now, while premiers were becoming more and more frustrated with the lack of concern from Trudeau, rather than promoting national unity like a prime minister is supposed to do, Trudeau became the great divider, staying true to his father's legacy of giving the West the middle finger. He quickly went to put Ontario against Alberta and flat out told Premier Ford that if his residents did not pay more in carbon tax, he would shut Alberta's oil sands down. Now Trudeau is going to bully the provinces into towing the Liberal line, and to do so, he is going to hold Alberta hostage just to get his way. He does not see that he is tearing the country apart, and he is setting the stage for not just an East versus West battle. He is setting the stage for a separatist movement that has started to take hold of Western Canada. Tensions are already at a boiling point, and divisive politics, as well as being the great Canadian bully, is not how a prime minister is supposed to behave. Now, when Rachel was asked if she still had faith that Trudeau could get our oil moving, she said that she did. Like, I mean, how many times does she have to get burnt before she learns her lesson? How many times does Justin Trudeau have to pull the wool over her eyes before she finally looks back and sees that trusting him was her first mistake? From day one, Trudeau has done everything in his power to cut and gut our energy sector. He created this mess, and he will not lift a finger to help clean it up. Western alienation is at an all-time high. I have never seen people as angry as they are right now. So what do? Do we turn off the taps to provinces like Quebec who say pipelines aren't socially acceptable there? Do we separate and form the Western Republic of Canada? At this point, I don't know what it is going to take or how much more Alberta can take before Trudeau realizes that it's too late and Alberta walks away from a prime minister who long ago walked away from us.